So dating and applying for a job are supposed to be two completely different things, right? So why do they feel exactly the same now? Like, why does modern dating feel like I'm in a corporate interview process? It feels like I'm selling myself on a resume. One wrong sentence, one awkward joke, one delayed text, and boom. Thank you for your interest. We've decided to move forward with other candidates. Back to the lobby, bro. And the craziest part is sometimes you don't even make a mistake and you still get sent back to the lobby anyways. I mean, the world is obviously changing, and with that comes a completely different way of meeting people and dating. And honestly, I think a lot of us are still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Because before I even get into all this, there's one thing I keep reminding myself of constantly as everything becomes more online. The best opportunities in life still come from real life, real networks, not social networks. Like you already know, that job you're applying to on LinkedIn, yeah, little Stevie or Ben is getting it because his mom works at the company. We all know this. And dating used to kind of work the same way. People met through mutual friends, through real communities, through being around each other naturally. There was already some built-in trust there. Like, okay, this person knows people I know, so statistically, they probably won't harvest my organs. That used to be the method for years and years and years. And then suddenly everybody stop beating that way. Oh my god, what is going on here? Okay, I can't even wall jump there. Okay. But this MA, oh, absolutely ruthless, man. This MA is killing. But yeah, and I think it's important to remember that real life connection is still probably the best move. It's just a muscle most of us barely use anymore, like social atrophy. I genuinely think the internet does that to people if you let it. You get so used to hiding behind screens that talking to someone in real life starts feeling like a Dark Souls boss fight. And I'm not gonna sit here pretending approaching people in real life is easy either, because it's not. Maybe I'm just too used to apps where both people already know each other's favorite foods, star signs, and Spotify Wrapped before they even meet. But approaching somebody naturally now feels terrifying. Like I'm storming Normandy just to ask for a bloody phone number. But I still think it's better. And I think putting yourself in uncomfortable situations is good for you in general, not just for dating, because at least in real life there's actually human interaction happening. On apps you're basically just another notification fighting for survival. Like the other night I was talking to this girl at a bar, and honestly the conversation was going pretty well. I'm thinking, okay, nice, we're cooking a little here. And then out of nowhere she goes, oh yeah, I'm actually a witch. And I almost spit my drink out because I thought she was joking. She was not joking at all. She starts talking about seances and crystals and moon rituals, and suddenly I'm sitting there realizing I accidentally pulled a side quest NPC from Skyrim. And the thing is, this was like a kind of a random, I wouldn't say a cocktail bar, but it was it kind of had like a weird theme, you know, like a dark aesthetic vibes. So statistically speaking, there was already at least a 15% chance she was a witch before the conversation even started. But honestly, even interactions like that feel more valuable than sitting on Hinge sending haha yeah, that's crazy to 20 different people. I mean, at least the real life gives you stories, and at least you develop social skills, and at least you gain XP, you know? Your XP bar is not low, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, that's not even the main thing I wanted to talk about today, because whether we like it or not, apps are just part of life now. Even if you personally don't use them, you will, and they still affect society around. LinkedIn, Hinge, Instagram, they're all basically the same app wearing different outfits. And once I realized that, it kind of freaked me out, because all these apps are technically designed to help us get what we want: a job, love, connection, opportunity. But at the same time, they're businesses. Their actual goal is to make money, and that changes everything. Because if LinkedIn honestly instantly got everybody hired, LinkedIn would stop existing. If Hinge matched you with your soulmate in 10 minutes, there would be no Hinge. These companies survive by keeping people searching. And that's why I think the worst thing you can possibly do is let these apps determine your self-worth. And trust me, I did that for years. I think most people do naturally, but you have to remember what those apps actually are. Half the jobs on LinkedIn barely exist, half the people on dating apps are just there for validation, boredom, or entertainment. People are literally treating dating apps like Candy Crush with flirting mechanics. And statistically, most applications get ignored anyways. Same thing with dating apps. You can do everything right and still disappear into the void because there are thousands of other people competing for attention. And another crazy thing about dating apps is the more matches people get, the harder it actually becomes to commit to somebody, which makes complete sense when you think about it. If your brain constantly thinks there's another option one swipe away, how are you ever supposed to settle into something real? And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest reasons so many people are lonely right now. Everything became hyper individualistic. I look at older generations and it feels like everybody used to exist in groups, friend groups, communities, social circles. People introduce people to each other. Now everybody's isolated in their own little algorithm bubble. Even my own social life feels less group oriented now. Like I have friends, I swear to God, but it's not like we're constantly mixing friend groups and naturally meeting new people every week. It feels way more separated now. And maybe I'm just washed, but I see clips from old shows like Friends and I'm like, wait, people actually used to live like this? Just a giant friend group hanging out together every day, which feels fictional now. And when you combine all this with the internet constantly feeding us more and more, it creates the grass is greener mindset from hell. And this mindset will absolutely cook you if you don't recognize it, because online there's always another option, another match, another DM, another person, another better possibility. So now even when people meet somebody great, they still can't fully commit because their brain is addicted to novelty. And one argument happens and suddenly it's maybe there's someone better out there. One flaw gets revealed and instead of working through it like normal humans have done forever, people just reopen their app and start swiping again like they're refreshing a marketplace. And I'm not acting above this either because I've absolutely fallen into this mindset before. That's the scary part. Sometimes the new person isn't even better, they're just new. And novelty is addictive. And that's why I'm so obsessed lately with cutting down as many novelty loops as possible. Short form content, doom scrolling, all this constant stimulation because your brain starts expecting infinite options in every part of life. And relationships don't work like that. Real connection does not work like that. You can't build something meaningful if your brain constantly thinks perfection is one swipe away. And honestly, I think women probably experience this even worse than guys do because their attention overload on these apps is genuinely insane. But men are getting cooked too. I mean, bro, there's literally a race right now to invent AI girlfriends because people are so disconnected. And meanwhile, I'm walking around seeing people pushing strollers with dogs in them instead of babies, which I'm not even judging by the way, but 10 years ago that would have looked insane. So yeah, all this sounds pretty bleak, but I'm actually not hopeless about it. I think one of the most important mindset shifts you can make right now is learning not to take rejection personally. And that's hard because rejection sucks, nobody enjoys it, but avoiding rejection entirely means avoiding opportunity entirely too. And the problem with online rejection specifically is that it often means absolutely nothing. But people still internalize it like it's a reflection of their worth. You send a message, no response. You apply for a job, ghosted. You interview 3 times, nothing. And because humans naturally personalize everything, you start feeling like there's something wrong with you. But most of the time, it's literally just volume. Thousands of applicants, thousands of messages, algorithms, timing, randomness. It's not you. And I'm trying hard lately to apply that mindset to everything. Dating, work, YouTube, hate comments, even stupid little things. Like, dude, one thing that irrationally pisses me off more than anything is when I hold the door open for someone and they don't say thank you. I swear that annoys me more than actual real problems. Like, what am I, your unpaid doorman? You can't give me a little thanks, boss? I'd almost respect getting slapped more. But now I try to remind myself, some people are just like that. They come into this world specifically to not say thank you when someone holds the door. That's their journey. And honestly, the more I think about it, the more I realize life in general gets easier when you stop taking everything personally. And another thing that's helped me a lot is realizing that eating shit is part of the process. Your first relationship probably won't be your last. Your first job probably won't be your dream job. You need bad experiences to recognize good ones later, and you need toxic relationships to understand healthy ones. You need loneliness to appreciate connection. And once I started looking at life that way, failure stopped feeling so permanent. Everything stopped feeling like the end of the world. Because honestly, perception really is reality. Okay, I didn't expect to get a bad timing of that death there. But yeah, if you view every rejection as proof that you're cooked, then yeah, you feel cooked. But if you view rejection, oh my god, the whole team's there. But yeah, if you view rejection as part of the process, suddenly everything becomes easier to survive mentally, you know? And I think gratitude matters a lot too, especially now, because this constant internet mindset of more, newer, better is never satisfied. There's always another thing to chase. But gratitude kills that loop a little. I think there's going to be a shift back towards real life connection eventually because humans need it. We crave it naturally. And that's why things like run clubs are exploding right now, which I'm not gonna lie, trying to flirt while fighting for oxygen sounds horrible to me personally. Like, imagine trying to spit game while wheezing uphill. But still, the point is, people are trying. People are desperate for real interaction again, and I respect that. Because at the end of the day, dating apps sell connection during a time where everybody feels disconnected. And that's why it's so easy to get trapped in the loop. And trust me, I still fall into them too. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What's harder right now? Finding a good job or finding a healthy relationship? Because honestly, both feel cooked sometimes. And another thing that's been messing with my head lately is how everybody talks now like they're a brand instead of a person. I noticed this on dates especially. Nobody answers questions normally anymore. You ask somebody what they like to do, and instead of getting a real answer, you get this polished little PR response like they're trying to optimize themselves for the algorithm. And oh, I'm really into wellness, traveling, self-growth, and intentional living. Bro, what does that even mean? Do you like bowling? Do you watch reality TV at 2 a.m. while eating Doritos at the bag? Like, come on, give me something more human here. Everybody's so terrified of being perceived incorrectly now that conversations feel manufactured. And it's like we all become little content creators trying to maintain a personal brand instead of actual people trying to connect. And I think social media quietly fried all of our brains when it comes to this stuff, because now everybody feels observed all the time, even when nobody's watching. People go on dates thinking about how the date will look like before they even think about whether they actually enjoy the person, which is pretty insane. And you see couples at restaurants sitting in silence because they spent the first 20 minutes staging drinks for Instagram stories like they're documenting wildlife for National Geographic. Meanwhile, the waiter standing there watching two people rotate a mozzarella stick under candlelight for the perfect angle. And honestly, I think that constant self-awareness kills chemistry, because chemistry kind of requires you to be a little stupid, a little awkward, a little embarrassing. But people don't want to risk embarrassment anymore because the internet turned embarrassment into a public executive. my god, okay, I just ate and I almost choked. But yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, it's getting a bit intense. I tried to jump there, but I couldn't apparently. But yeah. Okay, wow. Wow, what is that situation, bro? Give me a break. Give me a bloody break, man. Alright, let's just call this nuking, and yeah, I don't think I even had much to say anymore. I pretty much said everything that I wanted to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been Zela. Cause I'm bad, you know it really bad, you know I'm bad.